Next, we have Sheila Sisulu from the World Food Programme.
Thank you very much. WFP, that is the World Food Programme of the 21st century, we have a mantra that goes something like the right food at the right time for the right people, or the right tools at the right time in the right place. This refers to the programming that we are doing, not only with the food that we deliver, but the program, how we program that the money that we receive to buy food locally. Many of you may be surprised, but some of you may not, to learn that WFP just last year purchased food in developing countries, food in developing countries to the value of $1.2 billion US. That accounts for 80% of the resources we receive in cash, and most of it we spend in Africa. What we are doing, that is not the innovation. What is innovative in what we are doing is what we call our Purchasing for Progress program. And the booklet is out there, so I won't go into too much detail about it. Suffice it to say that it is applying innovatively our purchasing capacity to purchase from smallholder farmers, smallholder poor farmers, who are in fact at the same time producing food as they are net recipients, not of purchasing food, but of food assistance in the lean season. What this program in the 21 countries that we are piloting, we have been able to purchase for $42 million US. However, I mean, you will say, in a $1 trillion industry, what's 42 million? That translates to almost $100 in the pocket of a poor woman farmer. And that changes their lives entirely, and the lives of their children, the lives of their family, and their own lives. In addition, we've heard about aflatoxin. We do not only purchase from these women and smallholder farmers, we in fact assist them to meet the quality standards, stringent quality standards that WFP requires. The issues of the health and safety of the food. We assist them to dry their produce to make sure that it is free of toxins, to bag it, to be able to store it such that they don't have to sell cheap and buy dear. And they have been very responsive. In fact, as one of the flagships of WFP, some have said about the P4P program that we are buckling under the weight of its success, because many developing country governments, yes, we buy from the market from them in their own countries, but they see this as almost the 10-key project to reach the poor. Not only because we put money in their pockets, but also because we help with nutrition, and we use that to link nutrition and health of the family at the grassroots level. A second program that we are working on is sorry. I get carried away with Purchase for Progress, but it's cash and vouchers. What we do with cash and vouchers is that where there is sufficient food, in the market, we give, again, the vulnerable cash or vouchers so that they can purchase food in the market. And thirdly, we do foods ready to eat, which means that we provide food that is appropriate for people in different circumstances. 1,000 days is great. We look at 1,000 days plus. And we've used these foods that are made locally, for instance in Pakistan, where they use chickpeas to make highly nutritious paste for children under the age of 5. We have found these foods very, very effective, especially in circumstances of emergency, where people are on the move, they cannot cook, and children's health and nutrition is at risk in that moment. The appropriate foods ready to eat that are highly nutritious, locally produced, have been used in Pakistan, in Gaza, and in many other places where we've had emergencies. Again, a demand is growing from developing countries for this innovation. Finally, but not least, school feeding. The demand for school feeding as a safety net, but also as a means of ensuring mainly the education of the girl child who comes to school and is able to stay in school, delay marriage, delay pregnancy, and learn about nutrition so that their families are better taken care of, whether they are producing in the field or they are working outside the home. So these are the 4 innovative programs that I would like to share with you. We have more information about them outside if you wish to get it. Thank you.
Thank you. I now request Ursula Schäfer-Preuß from the ADB.
Thank you very much. Just a short background about the Asian Development Bank, our strategy 2020, and the operational plans for food security and health, which are also outside in our booth. Asian Development Bank has been established in 1966. Our headquarters are in Manila, and as an international development finance institution, our mission is to help our member countries, our developing member countries, to reduce poverty and improve the quality of the life of their people. Our planning and financing of operations are guided by the Strategy 2020. Our vision is a region free of poverty. The strategy has 3 complementary strategic agendas, being inclusive growth, environmental sustainable growth, and regional integration. It has 5 core areas of operations. This is infrastructure, environment, regional cooperation and integration, financial sector development, and education. It has 3 other areas of operation. This is health, agriculture, and disaster and emergency assistance. Our operations in agriculture and health are guided by the strategic 3-year operational plans I just showed to you for sustainable food security and health, respectively. Common features of these plans are their multi-sector support approach and emphasis on partnerships and collaboration. What does ADB do innovatively that will leverage agriculture in improving health and nutrition outcomes? Provide investments. We provide investments, that means lending and technical assistance, as well as policy advice for infrastructure and services that will improve the ability of and access of adequate, safe, and nutritious food for Asia and the Pacific's poor and vulnerable in a sustainable manner. We serve as a game changer by investing in the pilot testing, trial setting, and upscaling and outscaling of agri-based technologies and management practices that ensure availability of nutritious and quality food. We serve as an honest broker by funding long-term and programmatic agricultural research for development work that in turn serve as basis for policy dialogues with high-level and government officials, the private sector, and civil society organizations on food and nutrition security. I can give you a few examples on that catalytic role later. Further, we maximize resources and outcomes by fostering partnerships and developing and good governance practices to enhance synergy and harmonization in food and nutrition security work. So we try to do this jointly, and the multi-sectoral approach is really something we pursue very actively. We know about all the complications, the difficulties, the silo mentality, but we really try to make an effort to come out of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ursula. We now turn to Mr. Ajay Vashi, President, Zambian National Farmers Union.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. As a representative of the farmers' constituencies, one of our primary functions is towards bettering the livelihoods of our farmers or the producers. And we ensure this through a concerted program of lobbying and advocacy and through interventions from our producer organizations. But whether we're looking at poverty alleviation or we're looking at malnutrition, you will invariably find that the biggest people who are impacted with this are the rural poor and the farmers. And therefore, agriculture is one of the most affected sectors, and at the same time probably provides the biggest solution. And for better nutrition and health, the point of approach should be and should begin at the level of farm productivity and profitability. And we know all the ingredients that are required for this: technology transfer, training and extension, functioning agricultural markets, better economies of scale, good management of soils and water. But the other aspect is to increase the competitiveness of producers, to help them better integrate into the agricultural markets. The barriers to the entry are very, very high and often very dysfunctional markets, where the producer's place is often weak and disjointed. And again, this doesn't go without the constraints of food and safety standards, water management, plant and animal disease control, traceability and labeling. So the greatest challenge has been how to get producers to become part of the value chain and have an equal seat at the table to protect their interests. But as any prudent manager manages, the smallholder producer has to think about himself at the end of the day and his family, and have abandoned the production of food and food crops to more rewarding cash crops such as cotton, soybeans, groundnuts, paprika, and I dare say, not for this meeting, tobacco. But examples have shown that despite this increase in wealth, until disposable incomes reach a certain threshold, limited financial security does not translate into nutrition and good health. There is still inadequate incomes, and the priority is still basic necessities and survival, and these basic necessities are not affordable. And then you have the mix of lack of government provisions, lack of water, sanitation, and health. What is good to note is many of these crop productions are now being done through contract growing, and many of these schemes now incorporate an element of food production in their contracts. But again, this is primarily being done more for food availability and household food security rather than nutrition. The international agenda, on the other hand, has been largely driven by two major aspects. One is agriculture is a major catalyst for alleviating poverty. And the other, riding on the back of the food price crisis that emphasizes on the availability of food. And this dynamic has also given rise to a new matrix, and this matrix is the food, energy, and climate change. And this, in turn, has driven the agenda of policymakers and bureaucrats. One of the most negative effects of all this has been the introduction of input supply subsidies without any other consideration. And I emphasize, without any other consideration. This has marginalized traditional crop production with good nutritional values such as millet, sorghum, beans, groundnuts, and vegetables, and in particular, impacting in the decline of livestock production. Dairy offers the quickest link to nutrition and health, but at the same time faces the enormous challenge associated with the cost of maintaining healthy animals and a hygienic environment. Governments also need to look at funding and institutional constraints that look after animal disease control. Farmers and producer organizations are reacting to this policy environment while ensuring that the farmers' profitability are maintained while addressing nearer issues of climate, biodiversity, and energy. There has to be a paradigm shift at an international level to incorporate food security with nutrition and health. Farmers and producer organizations can help in this effort, provided there is an understanding and agreement that should there be any adjustment costs, they should be equally borne by society and not the producers themselves. And I end by saying, many good doctors always prescribe pills to be taken on a full stomach. As farmers, it can be our business to ensure that the stomach is value-packed with good quality food. I thank you all.